Well, it was, we didn't have internet, we didn't have email, so you sent letters back and forth. One of the things that's probably find hard with the struggles of the post office, when you were over there, you didn't have to put a stamp on your letters, but the only way to communicate was, well, not the only way, but the usual way was a letter. And strangely enough, that they had what they called the Mars, which was a satellite. And you could, at least I could, talk to my wife at that time over the radio, which I think went to Alaska and then went to her home. And we would communicate by saying, "I love you," over, and she would respond, "I love you," out.
Yeah, the same way with me. The only way I communicated was by letters, back and forth between my parents and myself.
Yeah, I was the same way, mostly by letters, until I went on R&R to Japan for 5 days. I made a phone call home to my mom and dad, and I think we talked maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And when I got home from Vietnam, my dad handed me a phone bill for $98 for that phone call I made to him. I was glad I was there to pay the $100.
Yeah, really.
My communication was purely by letter, and my parents were pretty good. They'd write me fairly frequently, and I probably wrote them about once a month. And my mother kept all the letters. I got them in a folder, and they're all numbered. And I think there are 12 or 13 letters. But when I wrote back, I didn't really tell my parents what I was doing or how dangerous things might have been. They were all kind of upbeat and talked about the countryside and what I saw, and about the Vietnamese people. And then, so I didn't really tell them what was going on. And it was, I think it's very hard on my parents, because they couldn't hear, they didn't get any news, but every 30 days, so they had no idea what was going on and what was happening to me, and I'm sure they worried quite a bit.
I had a follow-up to that. You were talking about communications. I had a son that was born while I was in Vietnam. He was supposed to be born December 7th, 1971. Well, he was born on the 14th, so a week later, but it took the Army and the USO a few days to find me, so I was actually informed on the 17th of December that I had a son 3 days earlier, and I got this radio call, and everybody in the bunker that I was at heard that I had a son born. Well, I was so in shock that I said, "Oh, okay, was it a boy or a girl?" And everybody in the background yelled, "It was a boy." So communications were certainly not what they are today.